Hey there, my budding digital champion.
Hello again.
Today, we are going to talk about online harassment. And we're going to start with one of its most common forms. That is cyberbullying.
I, for one, certainly know what it feels like to be bullied. I think, as people that attend school, it's very safe to say that we're all too familiar with it. And if you've ever been bullied, I'm really sorry. Because I know how easy it is for one rude comment from someone in class to play in your head for years and maybe even change the way that you see yourself.
That's why we are here to tell you that you are amazing, that you are beautiful, and that kid, they don't know what they're talking about. Together, Shreya and I are going to break down what cyberbullying looks like. And of course, how you can take a stand for yourself online to keep the hate at bay.
That's right. So let's begin by talking about what bullying looks like in an online space. Well, any digital platform, like a social media site or a messaging service, can be used by someone to cyberbully someone else. And as you're already aware, the comment section on social media sites can get pretty hateful at times.
Absolutely. You know how often I've wondered why, when scrolling through somebody else's social media, does somebody see a post, think up something mean in their head, take the effort to click on the comment section, type up that mean thing that nobody asked for, and then post the comment? What?
Exactly. I mean, why not just look at the post, go, whatever, and move on with your life? What is the need to sprinkle on the hate?
When you think about it, you might come to the conclusion that these people might not be very happy. They might have problems in their own lives they're dealing with, and some sort of emotional trigger could have led to this hate online.
Now, this is just one very specific and plausible explanation, and there could be so many more. This kind of hateful reaction could be the result of a personal grudge, or because they don't agree with someone's opinions online. But whatever the reason may be, it never justifies being mean to someone.
No, it doesn't. And hateful comments are just one way in which somebody can be cyberbullied. I mean, school meme pages can get really spiteful sometimes. And what about when somebody puts up posts or stories with a specific intention of belittling or making fun of somebody else? That can be hard to deal with as well. Whatever they post can be so embarrassing and sometimes even not true.
And Madhav, it's so much easier to be rude when you're behind a screen. Think about it, you can't walk up to someone and be that spiteful in real life. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's just so much easier to be mean online.
Yeah, when the bully can also hide behind a fake profile and pretend to be somebody else, it only makes matters worse. And they can then post these harmful messages and stories and posts from behind the screen of a fake profile. And sometimes people pretend to be somebody else you know just to tarnish their reputation and ruin their image. You also might have noticed that this aggressive behavior is sometimes targeted towards a certain ethnic or religious group, or towards people who subscribe to a different political ideology than the cyberbully themselves.
Now, if we were to experience any of this, it might leave us feeling anxious, angry, sad, or even alone. Because bullying does that. It might even take us a while to gather ourselves and figure out how we want to respond to the person. But the good news is, we don't have to fight fire with fire. We don't need to respond with hate to stand up for ourselves. We can use the same space that allowed bullies to be rude to us to make things right and keep them off our social media.
Shreya's absolutely right. I mean, for starters, you can directly respond to these comments and these posts and messages and say, hey, what you said, it wasn't okay, and then proceed to explain why. And if they continue to treat us in that way, you can always block them. The idea is to stand up for yourself, but it is also to disengage when there's nothing good coming out of that conversation. And that's when I usually hit block.
You could even make your social media profile private so that you can choose who has access to you online. Many social media apps also allow the turn off comments feature. So if you think people might comment something mean on a post that you just uploaded, turn off the comments. Just as you would walk out of a room if someone was physically bullying you, try to keep your bullies out of your cyberspace.
Also, while we're on the topic of harassment and annoyance online, let's talk about another common form, that is cyberstalking. Now I know many of us use social media to follow other people and what's going on in their lives, and this natural curiosity is okay, and it's what these social media platforms thrive on. But if it becomes an obsessive behavior with the intent to harm someone, that's when this curiosity can be a problem. Cyberstalking is when somebody uses the internet to constantly harass or contact or follow the activities of someone. And as you might have guessed, this can be dangerous, especially when these cyberstalkers try to contact the person offline as well.
Online stalkers can be strangers, but they can also be someone we know. Their obsession with the person they stalk can lead to them following, harassing, and blackmailing the victim relentlessly. You might wonder, why can't this person respect boundaries, take no for an answer, and just get on with their lives? Well, how many times have you seen an Indian film where the hero, who often has zero respect for personal boundaries, stalks the heroine until she falls in love with him?
Ooh, Shreya, I have the perfect example for this. It's this song from this 1970s Bollywood movie. Yeah, don't ask me how I know it, but it hilariously captures exactly the kind of hero that you're talking about and the thought process that this hero has. Wait, actually, let me play it for you.
Shut up! Okay, wow. This is some intense stalker behavior. He literally just sang that he will not let the heroine go in this game of love, even if it sends him to jail. When people say such things on the big screen, they don't realize that this is not the appropriate way to start a relationship. Indian films have normalized and romanticized stalking by men. But to be fair, they reflect the mentality of the thousands of Indians watching them.
And this doesn't only affect women. I mean, this disrespect for boundaries, it can have an impact on men and unfortunately young children as well. There is so much sexual violence against children that happens because of cyberstalking. And it often goes unreported as well.
You're so right about that, Madhav. And therefore, if you encounter such behavior, you have to do something about it. The first thing you can do is block and report the individual, and then let a trusted adult know that you are being cyberstalked. Also, screenshot any evidence and keep it handy. Cyberstalking is a punishable offense under Indian law, and there are 3 ways in which you can go about reporting this to the bodies concerned.
Number 1, you can file an offline complaint at the nearest cybercrime cell. These cells fall under the Criminal Investigation Department of states. So check if your town or city has a cybercrime cell. And if not, you can always file an FIR with the local police station.
Number 2, you can also file an online complaint on the National Commission for Women's website by filling out the complaint registration form. Do get an adult to help you here though, because there's a lot of information that needs to be filled.
And finally, number 3, you can also always submit an online report at the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal. So those are the 3 authorities you can report cybercrimes to. Now I know that thinking about and hearing about the details of cyberstalking and harassment must have been distressing, but I'm so glad you stuck with us. The thing is, we can't change how other people use free and digital spaces like the internet. But we also can make sure that we don't let that affect how we want to use the internet. By taking action against online harassment, we send a clear signal that such behavior will not and should not be tolerated by anyone. And that's an important message.
It could make someone think twice before bothering someone else, and it definitely emboldens other people to take a stand and speak out about what they have experienced. So, take this message to your family and friends too, and let's make the internet a better place.